This is a quick review of tonight's Strange Days with Bob Saget segment. The BFRO Let's Go Squatching segment, I should say. I actually enjoyed the segment. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too jokey. There was some jokey elements in it, but Bob Saget recognized that these guys are deadly serious about what they're doing. He made some jokes about their their motives and things like that, but nothing too insulting, nothing too bad. And I think all the guys had a good time. It featured members of the BFRO, the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization. Well, not just BFRO, but adjunct members as well. We saw Tom Yamarone and Cliff Barrickman, Beth Heikkinen, Paul Graves, Matt Moneymaker, Wally Hersom. The lion's share of the time, a good bit of time was spent with Bobo, James Bobo Fay, which was great. Bob actually went with Bobo to buy some treats for the Squatch, and they bought all kinds of stuff for Squatch: bacon, donuts, glazed honey buns, salmon, all kinds of stuff. By the way, the stuff was not eaten during the course of that segment. Beer. I think they may have bought some beer for the Squatch, which I think the Squatch might have taken and drunk. There was a moment where Bob was with the group. They were doing calls. Beth Heikkinen was doing some calls, and they got a response from something, possibly a Squatch. And then also you had there was a segment where they put out the food for the Squatch after they went and bought it. After Bobo and Bob went to buy the food, and then they had several segments where Bob was interviewing different members of the BFRO, and then finally you had Bob in a vehicle with Derek Randalls and Matt Moneymaker going down a road with Matt driving, holding a night vision binocular to one eye, talking on a walkie-talkie, and it was a little bit dangerous. It was certainly, I know that Bob Saget was somewhat nervous to be in the vehicle with Matt driving. So Matt was put in the back seat. Derek Randalls took over driving, and they had an interesting setup. They had an SUV with a heat thermal camera on top, which could rotate. It was very interesting. They didn't see anything other than a rat. They caught a rat on camera, but no Squatch. They didn't catch a Squatch that night. Other than they may have heard a vocalization from one, but other than that, nothing else happened. So, but it was a fun segment. I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I would give it about a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I know there's probably going to be people who are going to disagree with me, but come on, we're talking about Bob Saget. We're talking about a stand-up comedian. We gotta learn to expect this kind of stuff. I mean, and just as Grasshopper always says, get a giggle about it. Let's not take ourselves too seriously. The whole Sasquatch field sometimes takes itself way too seriously. This was just a fun way to kind of look at the BFRO and kind of look at the squatching without being too overly serious. The program ended with Bob sitting in a teepee with several of the BFRO members singing Bigfoot the Living Legend, played by Tom Yamarone and Paul Graves. It was great. It was really great. was a great ending to the show. Um, there was one segment that was not included on the show, which is included in the behind the scenes segments, where Bob actually buys Bobo a samurai sword. James, referring to James Bobo Fay, he actually buys him a samurai sword. That's not in the actual program itself. It was actually broadcast much. It's actually part of the behind the scenes stuff. But all in all, it was a really enjoyable segment. And to quote the late Heath Ledger, "Why so serious?" I enjoyed it. I liked it. It was good. It was great to see some of my BFRO buddies in there, such as Cliff Barrickman and Bobo and Tom Yamarone, Paul Graves, Beth Heikkinen. I may have mentioned Cliff Barrickman. All those guys. It was great. I enjoyed it. It was good.